Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one and welcome back to World of Tanks, and we have something special for you today. It is none other than the chairman of the board himself, the Ayatollah of Malinovka, Auroric 78, light tank driver extraordinaire. He doesn't send a it's been a while since we've seen from him. I think it was actually on Malinovka, and it was in this tank, the Manticore, British Tier 10 Light. I mean, he has great games, not all the time, obviously, but his great games tend to be slightly better than the average. So lately he's taken to sending stuff in where, he's still going to do better than most of us are capable of doing, but this is more about the what the hell's going on kind of moments, where weird, unusual, or funny things happen. Now, you'll notice he pinged the map at the beginning of the game, saying attention to G5. You'll also note he is not going anywhere near G5, because that's the obvious light tank spotting position, and there is a Manticore on the enemy team. He's going over here. And guess what? The enemy Manticore has the same idea. So this is the first weird thing. Enemy light tank spotted right at the beginning of the game. Still spotted. Knows he's spotted, because everybody gets 6 cents now by default. And he's platooned up with artillery, so he's clearly in this match for some monster spotting damage. And the first weird thing is it takes this long for anybody on the team to start shooting at him. The second weird thing is after getting hit twice, he just sits there. And sure enough, what was that all about? Auroric isn't complaining, I'm sure. Extremely capable enemy tier 10 light tank, knocked out, first casualty of the battle. Not the only enemy scout, of course. They also have a clown car, which is unfortunate, but you'd think at this point at least it would be plain sailing. You'd think that, and you'd be wrong. So let us see how this game develops. Okay, a TL7 spotted. He's in a decent spot though. The artillery is probably going to be able to root him out from there. In case anybody, probably most of you, are wondering what the hell is a TL7? Yeah, excellent question. They're just making shit up at this point. It's an auto-loading American tank destroyer. Watch as Auroric shifts to... Yes, he is... he is going to hide in that bush. Now, for those of you who are thinking, how can he possibly be hidden in that bush? There's bits of the tank sticking out. Yeah, they are. But the way the spotting system works in this game is you can have any bits of the tank you like sticking out of concealment, as long as none of those bits of the tank are parts that can actually be spotted. See, each tank has, I don't actually know what they're called, but sort of like spotting marker points scattered around it. And as long as those points are in concealment, doesn't matter what's sticking out of the concealment, you're good. You won't be spotted. And Auroric clearly knows exactly what parts of the Manticore can and cannot be seen. So, 2 mediums have just rushed down across the field. Again, without being shot at by anybody, which is amazing. And are now about to gangbang that TL7. As Auroric, because he hasn't really spotted anything else from within that extremely tiny bush, is now actually going to spot enemy tanks from inside the enemy base. Starting with a Type 4 Heavy, who is, of course, 100% AFK. He's loaded into the battle, but he's obviously AFK. Now, a bit of a good news, bad news situation here, because Auroric hasn't really accumulated an awful lot of spotting damage this far, slightly less than 2,000, almost all of that against the Manticore. Unfortunately, he's not the one who spotted the Type 4 Heavy. I think it might have been the M48 Patton who nailed the TL7. So thousands of spotting damage on the table here, and it's all going to somebody else. At the same time, he can't move until the Type 4 Heavy's been killed, because even an AFK tank can still spot you for its teammates. That's now been taken care of. There's still a Death Star lurking around here somewhere, although he's probably scarpered long since. Although I wouldn't be too sure about that, as we'll see later. You'd think something the size of an FB215B183 wouldn't be able to hide too well. You'd think that. You'd be wrong. Anyway. For some bizarre reason, the enemy team who have won the hill are just camping up there. Rather than pushing their advantage up there, most of them are actually coming back to defend their base. But, understandable, but nobody's trying to cap here. Right, this is what I was talking about. 2 Hori tank destroyers. There's a reason why tanks are known as big angry houses, and they don't get much bigger and much angrier than these things. And yet, you wouldn't believe that one of these things could actually hide in this light forest. But he's doing a bloody good job of it. Pretty tough from the front. Some beautiful side shots here, but obviously Auroric isn't going to risk giving his position away in order to do a couple of hundred damage. Just keeping it spotted and farming all of this spotting damage. He's up to 4,500 now. Is way, way better. He's a scout. He's doing his scouting job. Let the rest of the team, the one with actual health and armour, take the hits. Although not necessarily letting them take the risks, because this is very, very risky. He's having to do a way bit more active scouting here than he'd prefer. A Canonin Panzer. That guy, oh, and here we go, this is going to be trouble. Spotted by a clown car, fantastic. Time to move. Note how long it takes the enemy team to start shooting at him. Basically, instantaneously. Now compare that with how long it took his team to start shooting at the enemy Manticore that he spotted in the open field right at the beginning of the game. Yeah, sucks to be you, doesn't it? Okay, so where did that guy go? Because at these kind of ranges, I'm pretty sure that there's no real spotting advantage between the two of them. So it's going to be down to whoever uses the terrain most effectively. And I'm pretty sure Auroric has the better actual stealth, but he still isn't going to risk getting spotted. And of course the GSOR, making good use of the terrain. In fact, it's only Auroric who actually has the shot here. So he takes it, kills him, because he really does need to kill that guy. You do not want another enemy scout sharing the same real estate. Doesn't wait to hang around to see whether or not the Sixth Sense went off. Just assumes that he got spotted, and of course he did. And is immediately into the low ground over here in the swamp. The good thing about a tank this size is he really doesn't need much of a dip in the terrain in order to go completely undetected and out of line of sight. This guy's been sitting in these woods for the last 3 minutes and has more or less been completely undetected the entire time. Auroric takes a risky shot here. Well, it's risky in that, well, it's not that risky. He knew he was going to get spotted and he didn't hang around after he'd taken the shot. I mean, risky as in, well, it didn't work, did it? I mean, it was a well-aimed shot. He knew exactly which weak spot to aim for. It just didn't go where he aimed it. That would have been a kill. Because he needed that guy dead so he could move up and continue scouting in the woods. And he's not dead yet. But the friendly T-92 artillery, there we go. I mean, it's been a good 30 seconds since that thing was last spotted, but just on the off chance that he hadn't moved, artillery dropped a shell on him, and guess what? He hadn't moved. I mean, I'm laughing, but something the size of a Ho-Ri, I mean, it obviously can hide in woods that sparse, because he was. But let's just say the concealment opportunities are limited. There's not much scope for moving around. You find a good hiding spot, you're pretty much stuck there. Speaking of good hiding spots, 2 questions. Where the hell is the enemy Death Star? Because he hasn't been spotted since the opening minutes of the match. Also, the Canonin Panzer. Where's that gold spamming noob disappeared to? Oh, Auroric just spotted artillery. That's really bad news, because if you're this close to artillery, you're probably behind enemy tank destroyers. Yep. There he is. Still spamming the gold. And somebody please kill this guy. He's been on less than 100 health for the last 5 minutes. No, Auroric took a shot, but on the move this thing is not terribly accurate. Oh, there it is, artillery to the rescue. But there was an indirect fire shot that came from the right. I mean, he knows the Object 261 is still up here, and there's probably nothing between him and the object right now, but I'm pretty sure there was another shot. There he is. It looked like artillery shooting at him from back the way he came. Down there. It looked like indirect fire. The hell? Let's go and take a look. What the actual... Really? Apparently yes. Really? How was he there the whole time? I don't know. Answers on a postcard. Oh, the Death Star just got spotted. I mean, not him, that's the Minotauro. Yeah, there, the Death Star. He's right there. He's in the woods. He's in exactly the spot that... Oh, I don't even know what's going on anymore. What the actual hell? Minotauro's been taken out. The Death Star... He's on full health. How has he managed... Have you seen the size of the gun on that thing? The Navy has cruisers that don't have guns as big as that. How can that thing, unless he's never fired a shot the entire game, I fail to see how that thing could have remained undetected for this long. Well, he's detected now. Oh, and you may as well, the gun's not pointing this way. You don't want to move though, because the E50M might, actually he's not even looking this way either. Yes, you got spotted. This is fine. Somebody please finish one of them off. He's gone undetected again. Oh, right, undetected or not, they've got him. Now it's just the E50M. You could probably survive one hit. And you did. Unless the E50M got a very, very lucky high damage roll. Might not be worth trying to beat his reload, however. Yes, there we go. Okay, good stuff. Finally. So much in that battle that just didn't make any kind of sense whatsoever. Starting with the enemy Manticore, getting spotted in the open field, and then just, well, given up, I think. I think after the first 2 hits, he just rage quit. And then, of course, things the size of big angry houses managing to somehow miraculously disappear behind a poplar tree. And in case you were wondering, by the way, the enemy Death Star, he did fire his gun during the course of that battle. He fired 8 shots, scored 2 hits, and did slightly less than 1,300 damage. The point being, though, when you fire a gun, that's a 183mm gun. That's almost heavy cruiser caliber gun. And when you fire something like that in woodland... let's just say deforestation becomes a thing very, very quickly. But of course, World of Tanks isn't a simulator. This is fine. Anyway, Ace Tanker. Not surprising, of course. I mean, this is a Rorik 78 we're talking about. But actually, there's a couple of things that are very not surprising in this extremely surprising battle. The one being that, of course, he got Ace Tanker. The second being that, naturally, with almost 10,000 spotting damage, he was top of the team on experience earned. And the third, and most unsurprising thing, is that even with 10,000 spotting damage, if he hadn't been running a premium account, he would have owed the game money after a performance like that. Because the tier 10 economy in this game absolutely sucks. Oh well, you know what they say, if you can't take a joke, you shouldn't be playing World of Tanks at tier 10. Anyway, Rorik, lovely to see you back. Thanks so much for sending this one in. Everybody else, I hope you enjoyed it, because that's it for today. As always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.